Here I am going to give a demo on using this MATLAB Simscape. So I think recording is on. So here, first of all, what we'll do, we will open Simscape or Simulink tab, and in that tab, we will try to model our pneumatic system. So how to open this Simulink tab? For that, we need to go into this home option, and in this home option, we will find a Simulink symbol here. So if you open this, if you click on this Simulink, then it will open a page, the page like this. So here we will get different options. So we have to select the first option. The first option is blank model. So create a blank model, and it will take few seconds to open the blank model. And just after opening this blank model, our next step will be to open the library browser. So how to open library browser? On the top, we will find this symbol. Okay, so just click on this library browser. So after clicking, it will open the library browser window. So there is one option by clicking this symbol, or if you press just Control Shift L, then also this library window will be open. So once this library window is open, then our next step will be to open Simscape option. So in this browser, library browser, we have several options for modeling different type of systems. Suppose we want to model aerospace system, then we can select this second option. So accordingly, for different systems, we have a set of different blocks, blocks in library browser. Okay, so but we are interested in modeling our pneumatic system in Simscape. So we need to click this Simscape option, and it will open different modules of Simscape blocks. So all the blocks in Simscape has been categorized in different sub domains like drive line, electrical fluids, and all those things. Since our application area belongs to this fluid option, so we will open the fluid block. Okay, and in this fluid option, we have different further blocks like there is valve actuators. So if you in your system there exists some valve actuator, then you can select valve actuator from this place. And then if you go into this gas, then you will find different actuators, different different valves and orifices are there. So here we can see directional control valves block is there. So in your system, if there is a 4x3 directional control valve, then you can just drag it and drop in the Simulink window. So this is Simulink window. So just drag and drop it here. And after dropping, you will see the block appearing in this window. It will take few seconds. Still it is not appearing. So if it is not appearing, then we can do one thing. We can go to library browser window again. So how to open the library browser again? Just click on this place, and this place is denoting switching windows. So if you click on this, you will find again Simulink browser window. So if by dragging this block is not coming in this Simulink window, then you can directly double click it. So if you double click it, then also this or just press right click, and in the after right clicking right means after pressing right click, we will get the first option as add block to the model untitled. So select this option, and by selecting this option we will see that now this DCV is appearing here. If you want to maximize, if you want to increase its shape, then you can just pull it from one corner, and you will see that the size of block is now somewhat bigger. So similarly you can find all the blocks from Simulink browser. So here we found the block DCV. Again, if you want to select the block that is hydraulic cylinder, then you can go to another place, that is so other blocks are also there. So some blocks you will find in this place here in gas. Okay, so in gas tab you will find some pneumatic components, and some other components are also present in this foundation library. So go to foundation library and find this gas block, double click it, and you will get different pneumatic elements like uh, tap, then you will find reservoir. Okay, so this reservoir is useful for us. This reservoir is denoting air chamber. Okay, so just you can drag and drop it here. Okay, so here we have got reservoir. Now you can select the pump. So where will get pump, so the block for pump is also given there. So we will go to that block little bit later. Now it is clearly visible here, the cylinder. So we can drag and drop this cylinder also in this our Simulink window. And pipe is also given. So pipe will also be useful for us. So I am dragging this pipe also on this Simulink window. Then okay, so these components will be useful for us. Now let's find pump. Where will get pump? So here the option is source. Go to source and select this pressure source. This pressure source is denoting our pump. So connect this A end to reservoir in this way, and this pump output we can connect it to the directional control valve with the P port. So instead of connecting it through just uh, by a line, we can add a pipe here. Okay, so both the options are correct. If you just connect it by a single line, you can also run your simulation, but it will not consider the dynamics of pipe. So to consider the dynamics of pipe, we can include a pipeline at this place between DCV and pump, and just connect it like this. Okay, so in this way we can connect different blocks and make our pneumatic circuit. So I already have modeled the whole pneumatic system to show you. So now I'm going to open that complete pneumatic circuit. So I have stored it here. So here you can see the whole model of pneumatic system is given in this window. So if I want to maximize it, then I can use this zoom option by clicking this uh, clicking this option. So now this I think this pneumatic circuit is clearly visible to all of you. Now what we can do, so in this way we will just find the block required for our pneumatic system. We will find it in library browser. We will pick and place in this window, and just by dragging and dropping we will get all the components required for making circuit. So here is the pump reservoir. Then you can see a pipeline is there at this place also. We are using a thermal reservoir also. So this thermal reservoir will take into account any temperature loss in the system. Okay, so here is reservoir, pump, then pipeline, then this one is denoting the directional control valve, and here is again a thermal reservoir which will take into account any thermal loss. Here is again we are using two pipelines. This one is double acting actuator, and the load. This block, which is considering the load dynamics, is basically has been modeled by help of a spring and damper. Okay, so just by connecting this spring and damper in parallel, we are trying to model the dynamics of chair. So that means the chair has been modeled by a spring and then damping member. It means we are not considering the mass of chair. So mass of the chair has been ignored, and actually so many non-linearities have been ignored in this model. We are simplifying our chair into a spring damper system, and later on we will try to find out that under what approximation, under what limit our chair works as a spring damper system. So means up to which deformation it will behave like a spring damper, that will try to find out. Okay, so this spring dampers model we have used for modeling the chair, and this is our sensor. Okay, so we have modeled a sensor here for capturing the load displacement, and in this way we basically model a sensor. So there are several YouTube videos, so you can watch the videos, and you will know that how to create a sensor in the simscape. Okay, so now suppose we have created the whole pneumatic circuit in simscape. So how to run it? Okay, so to run it in the simulation tab, so there are several tabs now: simulation, debug, modeling, format, apps, and subsystem log. So go to simulation, and in this simulation tab you will find an option that is run. Okay, so just click on this run, and by clicking on this run you will find that your model is now compiling. Okay, and after compilation it will run. So just wait for a few seconds and let it run. Okay, so compilation is complete. Now it is running. Okay, so the system, now this model is already, we have simulated it. Now it is time to plot the results. So these are the results. In the input we provided this pulse type of input. Okay, and in response the load is displaced in this fashion. Okay, so how to interpret these results? So we will try to interpret this, basically these results, okay, with the help of our system. Give me a few seconds. Okay, so what is our input in this system? Basically we are providing input to the DCV valve. So we are providing input to the DCV valve. So if you provide +1 input, then what will happen? This DCV will activate this position, this parallel position. And in this parallel position, what will happen? This pump supply will be directed to the A point of the hydraulic cylinder. A point, if you pressurize this A side of the cylinder, then this piston will move forward. So this is happening when we are providing +1 input. And if you are providing -1 input, then what will happen? This cross port connection will be activated, and this pump supply will go to this B point, and the pressure will increase at the rod end chamber of the cylinder, and this piston will move to the leftward. Okay, so this left right movement can be achieved by providing +1 and -1 input. So if you provide a pulse input, so here we have designed our pulse input. So here you can see a pulse input is provided, and then we are converting this pulse input into a meter. And then here again, one very important block is used, that is Simulink PS converter, because here I am using some blocks from Simulink and some blocks from Simscape. So whenever you are using blocks from different domains, then you need to convert. You need to use a converter. So this PS converter will help us to integrate Simulink and Simscape. Okay, and two other important blocks has been used. One is this gas properties. So using this property, you can change the operating condition, you can change the properties of gas, and this block is basically helps us to configure our solver. So how much sampling time you need, all those things you can define from this solver configuration. Okay, and all these plots has been plotted with the help of these scopes. Okay, so that is all about the procedure of modeling your pneumatic system. Okay, thank you. That's all.